Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Carolyn Perry. I am an intuitive healer, card reader, psychic, a high priestess, and past life regression healer. So if you're interested in a reading or past life regression healing for some of the trauma that you might have experienced in another life that's affecting you in this life, please certainly reach out. I'd love to work with you. Today I am guided to do kind of a pick-a-pile reading where you choose between A, B, or C, between the different piles. And we're going to get messages for different parts of the collective around this soulmate twin flame connection. And this feels like a collective that's been kind of in it for a while and has been going through it. And maybe has felt pretty kind of stuck and not sure of where things are going or if they're going. Maybe feeling alone for a while. And I know that's not fun, but let's see what comes. Hopefully there'll be some sign of movement, or we'll just see what happens. Even if it isn't, at least you know. If it resonates, please certainly like and subscribe and do the comment thing. If it doesn't resonate, just come back another time. It doesn't have to. There's plenty of readers out here. Maybe check somebody else out, but I hope it does. I hope you find something in one of the piles that resonates. You might want to pick one right now, A, B, or C, whatever hits you, or you might want to watch all three, or maybe just a couple. I've found that sometimes they just roll over. Sometimes the message just kind of goes into the next, and it's kind of a full reading with all three. So you might want to check that out. All right, so let's start with pile number one and see what the message is for pile number one. I'm just going to pull like 5 cards and get a message for the overall energy of the reading, the movement for pile one with the soulmate connection. I'm just going to move the camera down a little bit so we can see the cards and see the table over here, so you can have a good view. And let's shuffle for pile number one. So this is the A pile reading for the twin flame soulmate connection and what's going on with that. All right. Just gonna shuffle a few times. I am going to put out the top cards on the pile. So okay, so this is pile number A. And with pile number A, it looks like there's some movement happening toward maybe hearing from or reconnecting with this partner. You have the Three of Swords, which is this old hurt that's happened. The hurt that's happened in the past, maybe feeling left out, abandoned, but that's come to heal. So this is not the time. We're moving into a different time where there's like some fast moving energy towards what you're passionate about, what you're wanting to unfold. And then we have both the Emperor and the Empress, this is the divine couple. So this particular reading is about movement toward this union and this divine couple, where for me the Temperance card can mean a lot of things. It's been patience and waiting and kind of unfolding in that way, but this is like spirit coming into the physical to me. So this is like, where is the divine moving into the physical? So this is like that divine movement into the physical. So this is a very positive reading toward movement toward that that divine union, or a divine union. If it's not someone that you already know, it's maybe there's someone new coming in, but there is this sense of the opportunity for movement towards a divine union, and it feels relatively close with this collective. Now again, each one of us is in a different place. So this one has been one where there's been some real hurt in the past. There's been some sense of being you know, harmed or hurt in another relationship, or maybe it's even in this relationship in other times. But this is about coming into the time where this is being healed. So I'm just going to pull a couple more cards from the Witch's Tarot. The deck that I'm using here is the Tarot of Dragons deck, which I really love. And actually I love all my cards, so I don't know what I'm talking about. They all speak to me in different ways, but the dragons often speak around the relationships. Page of Wands. So you had the Knight of Wands here. We have the Page of Wands here. Temperance, which is the same card, so we're just getting that affirmed. And the Five of Wands. So I feel like this temperance, again, to me, is spirit coming into the physical. What's been happening in the spiritual is starting to come into the physical. The Five of Wands is just our ways that we've held ourselves back, and ways that this relationship has been held back in the past. So it's like kind of moving past that. Yeah, it's like the change, the shadow side, and the Knight of Pentacles. There's just some movement forward here. There's some change. There's some looking at releasing old karma and moving into the new. So, and I think this is more of what's been going on to me. This has been almost like what was happening, and this is where you're moving toward. So I do think that for this collective, there is some movement toward union, or toward meeting somebody new who will be that divine partner. So let's just pull an oracle card to just get a message for this collective around soulmate connection. This is A. This is for A. To Brothers of the Rose. Sacred masculine, honor, protection, and support. So let's see what the Brothers of the Rose in here. Just going to read it to you, and we'll tie it in. This is a card of sacred masculine. So this is definitely, if there's been a masculine in this relationship, or if you're holding out for someone to come in that way, or you're stepping into your divine masculine. So the sacred masculine, like the feminine, the sacred masculine exists within each of us. And together, we're all being called to balance both energies within us. The sun and the moon, solar and lunar. Perhaps this is what is meant by birth, means to birth a new world. The sacred mature masculine is something so needed in our world. It's part of us that lives in deep honor and reverence of the feminine, and it recognizes the goddess within all life, including the earth, and is committed to protecting and living in a devotion to the feminine. The sacred masculine knows that striving and overpowering, enduring and conquering is not helpful. The sacred masculine is strong and tender and protective, but not defensive. This card could be a sign that you're being called to work on the sacred masculine energy within you that's maturing and rising. It could be that you're being called to work on ancestral healing of the paternal line. It could be an indication that you're being called to invoke or acknowledge the sacred masculine in those around you, or it could represent a sacred masculine appearing in your life. The sacred masculine exists within all of us. They are encircling you so that you can do your sacred work, so that you can be part of the return of the goddess on this earth. The rose is your emblem, and they wear it. The rose is their emblem, and they wear it proudly in their hearts. So I think for me, this is just affirmation that this divine masculine energy is coming in, or that if you're a divine feminine, that you're calling it in, or that you're stepping into it as the masculine. So that's kind of what we were looking at here. This is the Emperor is the card in the tarot that represents that divine masculine energy. So this is a very positive a reading for those that are hoping for or looking toward having this sacred relationship. So good for you. So it is. So it is. All right. So we're going to move on now to pile number B. Pile number B. Pile B. Pile B in the twin flame sacred soulmate relationship energy, and what's going on with that collective in the B. So if you picked B, this is your reading. Okay. All right. So with pile B, we have the Seven of Swords, the Five of Swords, the Sire of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. So with this pile, it feels like there's been some deception and hurt in the past where things haven't been completely on the up and up, and it's been hard to know what to believe and where things are really going. And it's felt kind of stuck and almost like you felt defeated in the movement of this energy towards relationship. But there is this masculine energy here, this masculine energy that is someone who is, you know, makes things happen in the world, is maybe can be a business person, or you know, knows how to be grounded in the world. But I feel like on either side of this masculine is this sense of scarcity, feeling kind of beating themselves down, not feeling confident, not feeling secure. So there's still some process with this masculine around finding where it is that they want to be and really stepping into it. There is the Knight of Swords, which does talk about communication and movement forward, quick moving forward energy. But it does seem that there's still some healing that this masculine is doing. So let's see what else is here around that. Oh, so the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Cups. So that's pretty positive. So I think that there's still some healing that this masculine is doing, feeling kind of stuck, trying to figure it out. Maybe there's some healing for the feminine as well around, you know, the old hurt and the past hurt. And are you ready to let something else in? Are you ready to let go of this burden that you've been carrying? But there does seem to be some movement towards more clarity around how to let that go and how to move past that, because what you're moving towards is this is the 10 of Cups, happy home, happy life. So that's really beautiful. I mean, there's some heaviness, there's some healing still to be done, but then there's some beautiful movement, and we have justice. So you know, something coming to conclusion, coming to close. This may be even someone getting a divorce or finally getting some closure around karmic stuff that's been happening, so that real movement can come. And this is movement in the physical. This is the Knight of Pentacles. So this is the Justice card and the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is movement that's happening in the physical. So this particular group feels like they've been through it. They've had some real pain in the past. There's not been some clear communication. There's been some confusion, not sure that things are even going to move, but there is a period of movement that is coming. And as that period of movement comes, there's more that will be happening in the physical. So I'm just going to pull from my other Witch's Tarot just to get a little bit more clarification on this pile. This feels like there's still some processing to do. And this is healing on both parts. This is healing for the masculine and healing for the feminine around just feeling good about who they are and what they bring to the relationship and to themselves, knowing that they deserve this. Beautiful, beautiful cards, beautiful cards. So the 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles is wealth, fulfillment, having the things that you need and want, and feeling wealthy. 7 of Swords again, though. This is that old hurt, that old deception, that old, like, things weren't completely clear. There was something that was not completely clear. And I think that's coming to closure. That's the karmic loop that's coming to closure, because we have the 2 of Cups, which is the soulmate relationship connection, and the Chariot, which is fast moving energy towards something new. So I think that there is healing that is coming. I think that there's still there's still a process that you're in the middle of with that healing. It's not quite here. This, you know, we're moving towards it. It isn't like a done deal, but there is movement that's happening towards the healing. So let's pull one of these cards to it's the Rose Oracle. The Rose of Venus, alignment, flow, right relationship, and harmony. So let's read that one, the Rose of Venus. Sorry, Rose of Venus. Here it is. Okay. The Fibonacci series and the golden ratio on which it's based is a number sequence in which each number is sum of the preceding two numbers. A rose's petals hold the golden ratio, each new set of petals growing in the space of the previous set. Perhaps this is why we feel changed by gazing at the spiral of the rose. The original rose looked very different to those we grow today. It possessed 5 petals, and interestingly, if we track the movements made by the planet Venus, as she orbits the sun, over a period of 8 years, we see that they create a 5-fold rose pattern called the Rose of Venus. Venus is the Roman goddess of love, sex, and fertility, and her symbol was the rose. Perhaps the ancients knew more about the interconnectedness of the universe and life than we think. There's a sacred order of all things. Nature holds the codes of life, and you, as you are part of nature, you do too. There's an intelligent force governing all of life, the same force that tells roses when to bloom and the planet how to spin exists within you. Our tendency to overanalyze or overthink can get us out of alignment with nature and thus life. Our resistance to change does this too. This card is an invitation to look at anything that doesn't feel in alignment. It's a reminder to trust in the tapestry of your life, your ever-changing nature, and to be dedicated to living a life that's deeply aligned. So I know, that particular card had a certain message as far as you personally is in your alignment, but I feel like when we're reading it in regards to this relationship, it's that things are coming into alignment, and it's not necessarily been aligned in the past. So it's like there's a shifting into alignment that's in the process of happening, and healing that needs to happen for this old perspective of self, this old perspective. And even though these cards are around scarcity and feeling not self-confident and kind of defeated, I think, and it's around the masculine. I do think that he's working on that, but I think there may be a message in that for the feminine as well, as to where have you felt defeated? Where have you felt like not feeling like you're kind of in scarcity and not getting what you need? So kind of moving away from that and letting that go and starting to step into calling in abundance. All right, that was our message for B. And now we're going to move to our message for the collective of C. All right, so just kind of clearing the energy and shuffling the cards for our soulmate twin flame connection, pile C. Let's see, this is your reading. One more time. All right. I'm just thinking about the person that you might want to be knowing about, or that you want to be connecting with, or who you're calling in. And let's just put 5 cards out for this pile. Oh my goodness. All right. Wow. So there is some options for this pile, especially if you're a divine feminine looking for a divine masculine. There are 3 divine masculines here. So let me go through it. The Hierophant, whatever this is a highly guided connection. So you are being guided to have some pretty cool options. There's the Sire of Swords, or the King of Swords, the Sire of Wands, or the King of Wands, and the Sire of Cups, or the King of Cups, and the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands is like that coming together. So let me go through. The Hierophant is divinely guided. The Hierophant is your guides. It's spirit. It's what's watching over you. So you are moving into a time of feeling divinely like things are just kind of falling into place, and you are finding signs and symbols and things moving you forward. And you, it looks like, will have some options here. You know, the Sire of Swords is someone who's more of an intellectual, more kind of a philosopher, more of the one that, you know, kind of does a lot of thinking, very clear, very direct. The Sire of Wands can be more passionate, more driven on what it is that he's focused on passionately. He will support you with what you're doing, but he's got his own life going on, and his own passion, his own way of doing things. The Sire of Cups has a lot of emotion. They don't always speak exactly what they feel emotionally, but they are able to show up. They're more the romantic. They're from the heart. They're more balanced. So these are very dynamic differences in men, but it feels like there's you know, these divine masculines that are coming. And it may be that there's a divine masculine that's going to be embodying all of those. But the outcome is the Four of Wands, which can be the marriage card. It's the 1111 card. It's the divine connection card. So I do think that there's some options here. For I don't know that this is necessarily union at this point. It might be just exploring options and having some time with different things. But there's some movement here. There's some guidance and movement here. There's some different things that are happening. It's a nice energy. It's an energy of options, which it feels like in the past before this. It's been kind of slow and stuck, but I think that there's going to be more options coming now. And so let's just get some clarifiers from the, wow, this is kind of a hot reading. Nice. Okay. All right. So the energy of the Lovers is here. So the Lovers is that divine connection. That there is that divine connection. That could be the energy of what you're moving toward. I don't necessarily think it's here right now, but it is what you're moving toward, because there's still some healing from the past. This is the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Wands. There's still some heaviness, the stuckness that has been there from the past, and it's your own lack of sense of yourself. It's like questioning yourself. Well, your you know, possibilities for you, and what holding yourself back to those possibilities, wondering whether they're ever going to show up, feeling burdened by the stuff that you've gone through in the past. But feels like a whole new time. This feels like a new energy. This feels like a reboot, because this is the Page of Pentacles, which is giving birth to something new in the world. So it's allowing you to have something coming in that will be a bit more than what you've had before. So whether this is a new relationship where you have some options, or whether this is an old relationship coming back and giving you some options, it feels really positive and really good, and like there's some stuff there. There's still a bit of healing to do around the things that have held you back, that have felt you know, that have gotten in the way. And so then we're going to pull an oracle card from the Rose Oracle. And the card that you got is the Sacred Waters card. Nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, and self-care. The Sacred Waters. And I'm just going to read it to you. The sacred waters are the life-giving mother of us all. Her healing waters replenish us and give us life. We're made up of her. Like the rose, we need her waters to survive and thrive. We must drop our roots deep to receive the nourishment that we so deeply need, to appreciate, protect, and honor the very thing that we take for granted. The mother of the sacred waters delivers the message to slow down and take care of yourself, particularly your body, to prioritize your well-being and live in a way that is sustainable. She reminds us to replenish and nourish ourselves and take care of our health at all times, not just when we feel unbalanced. You're being called to nourish and replenish yourself before you become brittle and parched. The mother of the sacred waters wants you to know that there is nothing more important in your life than to care for your own sacred vessel of the body, and the earth is an extension of that. She wants you to treat yourself with tender care, to cherish your body and hers, to fill your well until it spills over. And once it does, to find a way to give back from this place of plenty, to give your body what it's yearning for most before it turns into an urgent need. I think this is just the message of some of this healing that needs to happen, and that what's being healed is that you're healing yourself. You're really taking time to do self-care, and in doing that self-care and in taking care of you, that's what's helping this energy to move. Because as we live in scarcity and we're not taking care of ourselves and we're held back in that way, then it doesn't allow energy to move in the direction that we're wanting. So good for you. Good for you. Keep doing that. Keep taking care of you and stay open. Stay open. Seems like there's some options there. And if this is a divine masculine that's watching this reading, this is just you stepping into your power more and feeling more empowered to step out there and to connect with what it is that you're being guided to do, and taking better care of yourself. So good. So those are our 3 readings. I hope one of them, or maybe more than one of them, resonated with you. If you liked what you heard, please, maybe give me a comment. Tell me which one resonated with you. And I will hopefully see you soon. If you haven't subscribed and you enjoy what you see here, I put a variety of different readings up. We do some guided meditation together. I do some channeling together to kind of switch it up a bit. So check me out again if this didn't work for you. There's always a different guide that might come up. And thank you for joining me today. Thanks for watching. Bye.